Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I am going to be showing you how to make my version of Shrimp Tom Kha. It's a Thai soup. So here I live in New England and right now it's frigid temps right out there. So we like to warm up with warm soups. So what we're going to do is, this is kind of a multi-step process, so just bear with me. We have in front of us a good sized pot that I'm going to actually turn on. I'm going to turn it up to high, and I'm going to start off with 4 cups of chicken broth. I have a homemade chicken broth here, and if you want to use a chicken stock or chicken broth from a store, that's fine too. It's whatever's easiest and most convenient for you. I just happen to have had this on hand already. So we're going to add that. We're going to add the zest of half a lime. And then this is a 1-inch piece of ginger that has been peeled and sliced. So I love ginger of any type. And so for me, I didn't do a super thin slice on it. As you can see, if you want it thinner, you can do it thinner. If you want to mince it or chop it, you do that as well. But I love ginger, so biting into a piece of ginger is fine for me. So we're going to take this, and it's going to come to a simmer. And once it comes to a simmer, we are going to let it simmer for 10 minutes. So while we wait for that to happen, I'm going to go do a few other things, and I'll be back. Alright, so it's been about 10 minutes. You probably can see that I added another pot. There's actually 2 pots that I've added to the stove, but it's not to make the soup. It's because I'm boiling chicken in this one, chicken breasts, and I've got rice in another one. So I can do some boiled chicken and rice for one of our dogs whose belly's not so good right now, but both my dogs love to eat everything they see, so who knows what they got into, but I'm guessing it was something they ate from outside, but who knows. Anyways, that always seems to help them out, so. But this smells amazing. I can't tell you how awesome my kitchen smells. I'm starving right now. Oh, that was the timer for 10 minutes. Okay, so it's been simmering. And now I'm going to add 15 ounces, roughly. This is actually less than 15, it's closer to 14, but of full fat coconut milk. I'm gonna add that, the whole thing. I'm gonna get all of it, get all the good little bits out of there. Fantastic. That over there. I'm just gonna give it a quick little mix. Get all the creamy bits mixed in really well. Okay. Oh, it smells so good. And I'm gonna add a little more than 2 cups of broccoli florets. You could add even up to 3 cups of this, 3 to 4 cups of this if you wanted to, and it would make it wonderful. I am adding 10 ounces of Cremini Mushrooms, also known as baby bellas. You could also do a button mushroom, but you want to make sure that you slice them. You can buy them pre-sliced. I personally don't really like to do it that way because they never look as fresh to me as the mushrooms do whole. And I mean, it takes like maybe 2 minutes tops to stem them, quickly wipe them down, and give them a good quick slice. So, but again, it's all a matter of convenience and you know, what your preferences are for that. And then Lemongrass Stocks. So this, you want it to be fresh, as fresh as you can find it. So where I live, the grocery stores that we have around here, you can buy them in packages. They're They're in like a plastic, very thin, but maybe about that long packages where you can get all kinds of different fresh herbs that way, and the lemongrass is one of them. So it's the recipe, usually you want to have like what's equivalent to one really good sized lemongrass stalk, sliced up into roughly 2-inch pieces. So I have found one whole packet of that works really, really well. And you just add them whole, just like this, just add them whole, just add them right in. You're not going to want to eat those, so they're really just for flavor. So what we're going to do is, when the soup is ready to be eaten, and as you can see, there's a lot going on in this soup already, and we haven't even added the shrimp yet, which is like the main star, but it is super good, it's super filling. Can't wait. But we're going to pull out as many of those stalks as we possibly can, and I wish I had remembered to count how many there were, because usually I do that. I forgot. But again, it's really not that big of a deal if you end up with one in your soup. You just pull it out or push it to the side, just don't eat it. Now we're going to let this come back to a simmer. So I'm turning the heat back up, and we're going to let that go for another 5 minutes before we add the rest of our ingredients. So I am going to check on my chicken and my rice for my dog, and I will be back. All right, so that's been about 5 minutes, and you can probably see that it has cooked down a little bit now, which is exactly what we're looking for. So now we're going to add about 10 ounces of raw, peeled and deveined shrimp. You want it to be raw because it's cooking in the broth here. And I'm just going to, you can already see it's starting to turn pink, it's starting to do its thing, so let's just get it down in there. Let's give it a good stir. I'm going to quickly wash my hands because I was just touching raw fish. So you're just going to cook this for another 3 to 5 minutes or so until the shrimp is opaque, cooked completely through. Turn that back up a little bit, because every time you add fresh ingredients or more ingredients to it, it brings the temp of the product of whatever, like in this case our soup, it brings the temp down a little bit. So we want to bring that temp right back up so that it cooks it through beautifully. We're getting there. A couple more minutes and I think we'll be good. And then we'll add our last couple of ingredients. So I am going to pause for a minute and then I will be back to show you the last couple ingredients. All right, so now my shrimp is completely cooked through and it looks fantastic. I don't know, there's mushrooms attached to it a little bit here, but it looks exactly how we want it. It smells amazing. I'm actually going to just turn the heat off right now, and we're going to add 1.5 tablespoons of fish sauce. So fish sauce, it smells disgusting, I'm not gonna lie. It smells exactly like fish. And I love fish and I love the smells of fish, but this smells like I can't even describe it, but it makes things taste amazing and you can't smell it once it's in the dish. And all fish sauce is extract from anchovy with some salt, water, and sugar, and that's it. I mean, it's pretty simple, and it makes dishes like this smell and taste amazing. So it's that extra little something that you're like, what is that? It's the fish sauce. Also adding 1.5 tablespoons of lime juice. If you have fresh lime juice, that's always awesome. Otherwise, whatever, if you can find it in the bottles in the juice department and the juice aisle. Those are good too. All right, we're gonna mix that in. Yum yum. And then you can either do whole chilies sliced up really thin, or I'm using about a tablespoon of red hot peppers, pepper flakes, and I'm just gonna add that. Again, you don't need to add all of it if you don't want to, or if you don't want to add any of it, you don't have to. If you don't like it spicy or anything like that, and there is a lot of spice. Sorry about that, that's my dog. If you don't like a lot of spice, then you probably won't want to add the red pepper flakes. And there we have it. Now, this is one of those meals too where it can refrigerate very, very well. In fact, I will be eating this probably for dinner tonight and for lunches over the next few days. It's so, so good. I'm just gonna ladle some into here. And this is going to be super hot temperature wise as well. Oh, there's a piece of lemongrass that I will fish out. Let's just take that out right now. I'm pretty sure I have a shrimp in here, so let's just make sure I do. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna grab one more piece of shrimp though, because you can't have this kind of a soup without the shrimp. All right, and that is it, my friends. It is so, so good. Oh, I can't wait to sink my teeth into it, but it's so hot. So I will do my best. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get everything on here because it's just too hot. But we've got a little bit of mushroom at least, and the broth and some pepper flakes, and we've got some of the seasonings in it as well. Oh my gosh, super hot temperature. But very good. Fantastic flavor. I hope that you all try to make this at some point. It is fabulous. And if you don't like shrimp, you could sub in other kinds of seafoods too, and it would be just as good. Or if you don't like fish at all, even chicken would probably be great with it. Maybe eliminate the fish sauce and maybe add a little bit of soy sauce to it or something. But overall, I mean, this is super versatile. Also, if you don't want to do chicken stock or chicken broth, you could sub in vegetable broth with it and it would be fabulous too. It's really just, you can kind of tweak it to however you want. And that's something that I love about these types of meals, is that you can alter them to your tastes, your family's tastes, you know, and go from there. So if you liked what you saw, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell to subscribe, you know, everything else. Have a great day.